There he is.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. And yourself, Carson?
I'm doing quite well, man. I'm doing quite well.
Well, I won't keep you for too long. I want to talk about the album and the tour and get your opinion on a couple of things. But, dude, first and foremost, thank you for this album. Thank you for a
Uh,
phenomenal album, man. Thank you for still caring about an album in this day and age where all you hear is no attention span and people just want singles. Hell no to all that. Thank you for making a complete album.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's the goal. I kind of hate the mindset of, just if you make somebody pay attention, they will, Like you know, you just have to give them what they want. They don't know what they want yet. So,
I'm kind of curious, the chicken or the egg, what kind of came first, the concept or the songs? I imagine the songs kind of came first and then the concept built kind of later after the fact.
you'd mostly be right, I'd say. I think that the concept was just kind of formed around some just like loose demos that we had and that kind of thing. And once we kind of realized that all the songs were once I kind of realized that all the songs had like really similar themes, I was like, oh, I have this idea for this other thing, and I can kind of wrap the songs around that concept. And yeah, it was really exciting to have it all come together like that.
And I imagine third album, I mean, second major album, I imagine just every time in the recording studio, everything just gets a little bit easier, makes a little bit more sense. You can work through things quicker.
Oh, I wish, man. That's unfortunately not how it was for us. Um, I think that uh I have the like insatiable drive to never make the same album twice. So we did a lot of things differently on this one. We also our previous two records we worked with this guy Corey Batista, who's great producer, but for this one we worked with Dom Maduri, who's like one of our best friends. Um and he does things a lot differently from Corey, and we wanted to do things a lot differently, and it worked out for us, but it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of us pushing ourselves really hard.
Well, it paid
But
off in spades, man.
I thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that like once we were getting mixes back, it was like, oh, this is cool. This doesn't really sound like any other record that we've heard. So like
Mm.
that's, big positive to us.
I'm also curious the narration in track one, the collection of forgotten dreams. Is that you doing that?
That is not. That is my good friend Justin Robert Young who is
Ah.
doing that. He does audiobooks sometimes, but he is mainly a podcast guy. And he's just got like a great voice for radio. He's one of those guys that can just kind of talk to himself on a microphone and it sounds really good. Um and when I asked him to do it and I kind of laid out the narration for him and how I wanted it to go, what he sent back, I mean, he sent it back within I think like 10 minutes of me originally sending it to, like, he had it down, and I was like, whoa, dude, like this is incredible. So yeah, once we had those two things, what's funny is the rest of the band kind of thought it was AI.
Ah.
They're like, did you use an AI voice for this? I was like, no, it's Justin. And then like they're like, oh, cool, awesome, like someone who's like connected to the band and someone who we've known for years and years. So it was really cool to have him. He's been my friend since I was, I think, 15 years old, maybe younger
Oh,
than
wow.
that. So yeah, the person that I have a lot of history with, our friendship sort of cemented into this immortal thing.
I love it, man. I thought it was just you putting on your best radio voice.
I couldn't sound like that talking on my best day, unfortunately, Mike.
Dude, one of the things I love about the album, on top of the roller coaster, which is the whole thing that I love about it, is there's so many different flavors and textures, and you can kind of jump in depending on your mood. Even if you don't have time to soak in the whole album, can just jump in. If you want something heavy like Schizophrenia, if you want something a little more mellow, you can jump into Lemon. And was that by design, or was that just kind of the way it all worked out?
I think that once we knew which songs were making the record, because I believe I had around like 15 or 16 demos for this.
Ah.
Once we found the 11 songs that were making the record, the sequencing just like kind of revealed itself to me in a way. I don't really know how to describe that other than in some like hippy dippy like, alien god transmission stuff, but it revealed itself to me in such a way that like it does have this arc of like starts really really rambunctious but catchy at the same time, and then it dips into this like softer hookier thing, and then it gets even softer, and then it gets the craziest it gets at all. And like the third act, I guess you'd say, is like probably the biggest, most rambunctious one that we could possibly go with. So, but it still has a lot of moments of like catchiness and push and pull and stuff like that. So, to me, there was no other ordering for this record, and I think that yeah, absolutely. If you want to just jump into Act 3 and start with Demon of Unreality, of course. Like I think that part to the end is a great record. If that was just an EP, I think that's a great EP. You know what I mean?
Totally. And it was interesting. Speaking of limping, putting the video together that for both of those songs, kind of a double feature with Trout and Dog in there. It was that kind of on purpose. Did it work out just that way to put those two together for that video?
Well, so and I mean, people have said it since we put the song out that like we've put out stuff that has like a pop structure before, and we've put out stuff that maybe didn't wasn't as chaotic as our other songs, but like I knew that Two-Headed Trout was like a kind of a turning point. I was like, I know that there's going to be some of our fans that just don't enjoy this because it's us doing like an alternative rock song, but uh the reason why those two songs were the lead single and why they're in the same video is because I was like, well, yeah, we're doing an alternative rock song, but no one can tell me anything about like us changing our sound or us trying to be more appealing because the heaviest song on the record is immediately
Exactly.
after it. Um, so and like I don't really feel like I have anything to prove, but it was just more so a middle finger. It was just like, yeah, whatever. We're gonna do whatever we want. Like, here's the song with the breakdown that I bark in, like
I thought
kind
it
of
was
a
good.
big F you.
I thought it was kind of interesting too. Trout ends like take your shot or whatever, and then you do shoot him at the end of the song. So I was like, oh, maybe that's kind of
Yes.
like the tie-in, the shot and the shooting.
Uh More incidental than anything,
Uh,
honestly. We didn't really think about that until we were making it. We were like, oh, this works. Like that's kind of cool. Um and yeah, we were really stoked on how that turned out. So, yeah, it's awesome that like the double video was something that we had toyed around with for a couple of things, and we thought of maybe doing it for the EP that we did 2 years ago, but this time around it was just like, well, no, like this works out. Like the concept is able to be stretched across two songs, and we're putting out the two songs the same day, so why not?
Love it, man. Love it. And the other fun one is the opt out. And I was kind of curious about how you recorded that. Like, did you go to a theater? Was that all like in studio? Like, I love the little smack talking that bleeds into country song. Like,
Um, I it so it's three or four different recording sessions in quotes. I know this is a radio interview, so no one can see me doing the air quotes, but it's four different recordings that are spliced to sound like one.
oh,
And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
interesting, interesting.
I'm gonna
Well,
let that be a mystery.
I'm certainly excited for the tour. We got you coming through SoCal, going to be at Chain Reaction on September 20th. And kind of curious, man, or is the show going to start with the collection of Forgotten Dreams? Are you going to play this album in its entirety, most of it? Are you going to bring that to the live show?
We are playing most of it.
Okay,
We are playing basically all of it.
awesome.
So but you'll just have to come out and see. You'll just have to come out and see.
I hope the production and everything is in there. That would just, set the scene. And a
For sure, for sure.
hell of a lineup you put together. Some different flavors with Unity Texas and Your Spirit Dies and Crush. All kind of different
Yeah,
flavors.
yeah. Your Spirit Dies have been our friends for many, many years, and we kind of always knew that we wanted them on this tour. We've been talking about doing an actual tour with them for since we met them, really, back in 2019, I guess. So we've wanted to do something with them for a while. We met Unity at a festival in 2022, and those guys are awesome. We're really excited to be out with them. Honestly, I kind of can't believe that we got them to do this with us. We tricked them into it somehow. Um, a band Sick, and then Crush. I feel like not enough people know about them. So I'm really, really stoked to bring them out and introduce them to our crowd specifically, because I think that, if anybody stands to like steal our fans from us, it's definitely Crush. And I want that for them. I want that for them because they rock. So I can't wait for everybody to, find their new favorite band on this one.
I love all the different flavors. I mean, every band kind of brings their own flavor to the party, and you're kind of an amalgamation of all of those in certain different ways.
Sure. Sure. I would agree with that. Yeah. It's you hear the first three bands and then you hear a mixture of all three at the end. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious for you guys as a band. Is it you? Is everybody bring that own flavor in, or is everybody kind of psychotic with their music listening? Like, is one dude like the punk guy, and one guy's like, you know what I mean? Or is it like everyone's kind of got this psychotic playlist running through their head?
Um, I would say I would say that I probably have the most psychotic playlist, but we're all very eclectic with our taste. I think, like, um especially like the difference between me and Dan, our guitar player, because like we both love Bjork, but like I like the era of Bjork where she's like writing like, big sweeping like pop love songs and stuff like that. But like Dan likes the era of Bjork where it just goes one ear and out the other to me. And like that's like we'll like the same bands, but like we like them for completely different reasons. Um and he's also the prog guy out of all of
Ah.
us. And I kind of hate most of that music. So um he'll show me something and I'm just like, yeah, man, I don't know if I can deal with the bucket the riffs. I don't know if I can do that all the time. So,
And all the time changes and 12
well, I
minute
mean,
songs.
I love the time changes. I just, I want the riffs to be good.
Dude, speaking of riffs, man, I need your help with something. We're an old school radio station. We do a feature called Mandatory Metallica every night at 10 p.m., which you're going to be a part of. You Metallica fan?
Uh, uh, sure. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Not as in deep as Dan. Dan is also the Metallica guy in the band,
Ah,
so
makes
I
sense.
not as deep as Dan or Maddie are our guitar players who are big into Metallica. But I own a Metallica shirt, so
Ah.
as does everybody now. So
I've been having this thought. I mean, next year, 26 is going to be the 35th anniversary of their self-titled album, the quote unquote Black Album. And with 20 million sold, I wouldn't necessarily say it's my favorite metal album or even my favorite Metallica album, but we might have to start giving that the title of greatest metal album of all time.
oh, you are you asking me if it's the greatest metal album of all time?
Or does it deserve that title? I'm not saying it's not even my favorite Metallica album, but in the scope of things, does it deserve that title of the greatest metal album of all time? With 20 minutes, 20 million albums sold, and the impact it has, and still to this day, I mean, Metallica playing two nights in stadiums, no repeat weekend, all that largely built off of that
Yeah.
album.
I mean, I unfortunately that's not the one I'm very familiar with. I'm
Ah,
I'm way more familiar with Master of Puppets. Um I if we're going by units sold, which to me is not a measure of quality exactly. I think like just to me in the 90s, like the metal that was coming out in the 90s, like Korn and like Deftones and stuff like that, like that's more the area that I come from, and that's
Sure.
like all the bands I like are more influenced by that. um if I was going to like give like greatest metal album of all time, it would honestly probably be a Korn album if I had to pick it, which your listeners are probably ripping their radios out of their cars because of that. But I don't know, like, obviously there would be so many bands that would not exist without that album and that influence, but um I think we would probably still be a band. So I don't know if that's bad to say, but just my honest opinion.
Well, maybe Corn, Corn wouldn't be Corn without the Metallica, and then you wouldn't got to the Corn. You know what I mean? Maybe it all
Sure,
kind of
sure,
trickles down. And again, I'm not saying
sure.
it's the best metal album, but categorically, it's got to, I think, maybe have that title.
I'll agree with you for the sake of nobody beating me up, nobody in a Metallica shirt beating me up. That's what I'll give you.
Just to put a button on it, man, pick a Metallica song for us to play on Mandatory Metallica. It could be off of anything.
Oh, the shortest straw.
Ah, okay. Justice. Go into
Yeah.
Justice rather than
Yes, sir.
I figured you were picking something off of Master after saying that was your album.
Well, as long as we're going like best Metallica song, I think that's probably my favorite one. My favorite Metallica album is Master of Puppets.
Mine too. Mine too. Yeah. I mean,
Right
I think
on.
that album's flawless. But
It's great. It's still amazing.
Shortest Straw is the one we're playing for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. We'll rock that one for you. Carson. Beautiful, man. Thank you so much for the time, the amazing album, and I can't wait to see you out there at Chain Reaction.
Thank you so much, Mike. I can't wait to see you, man.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye, man.